At the end of the world, end of the world. At the end of the world, end of the world. At the end of the world, end of the world. At the end of the world, end of the world.
Hello and welcome to the 20th episode of the Knitting Abroad podcast. My name is Julia and I'm coming to you from the wonderful, at the moment sunny Gothenburg in Sweden. It's the first episode in the new year 2020 and the 20th episode, so I guess there's something to celebrate. I have to apologize that I've been away so long, but life just happens sometimes and there was much to do and there were some wonderful things that happened, and now 2020 will be a wonderful year, I guess. I'm beginning first with a Christmas present I got from my niece. It was her who painted the logo from Knitting Abroad, and I got as a Christmas present a wonderful painting for her again. There you have Moose and my cat Oscar, who has a wonderful crazy cat time just now, so if he's going to move around everything, so that's him today. So happy new year to you all, and let's start in this episode. I'm starting with the finished objects, which have been a lot, but I don't have all of them to show to you because they are gifted away. But one do I have I'm wearing right now, and this is the Sundrop Shawl. It's called Dewdrop Shawl from Woolenberry, and it's a Swedish designer, and I knitted it out of Swedish hand-dyed yarn, of yarn dyed by Mirja, som is a Swedish woman living in Austria. And you have here a wonderful shawl. It's a triangular shawl. It doesn't fit on the camera, but I guess you got the point. The shawl has a wonderful lace pattern, and it's very simple on the triangle, and the construction is very cool because you knit the yellow triangle first, and then you pick up the stitches at the side lines, and then you knit the lace pattern at the end, and there you see it. I guess it's wonderful. I called it Sundrops because it has a yellow yarn, and the Dewdrops pattern shawl, the original shawl, is knitted in white and blue, and I guess this is also a wonderful color combination. And Mirja's yarn is this yellow has no name, but the green blue thing has a name, blåbärsmos, blueberry something. I inserted here, and it is BFL silk, and I knitted it with 4.0 needles, and it is very light and it's very cozy and it's very wonderful, and I like it very much. Thank you, Mira, for the wonderful yarn. All the information and show notes do you find on www.knittingabroad.com, and you can also find me on Instagram as KnittingAbroad and on Ravelry as KnitAbroad. And there have you all my projects, and because Sissy was pointing at that my projects were not, as now are my projects really up to date. And yeah, you can find all the information there. So this was my first finished object, and yeah, the next finished objects are the thank you socks, tack så mycket strumpor, I knitted for a friend, and they're already gifted away, so I just have a picture and I'll insert it here. The pattern was the eyelet pattern of Hermione's everyday socks, and the rest of the sock was knitted just plain vanilla. And the yarn was a Filcolana Arwetta Classic in the colorway 202, and it was a petrol, and is her favorite color. And it happens that it's also one of my favorite colors, besides dark red and so on. Like, yeah. We don't argue now about if black is a color or not. Next finished object, yeah, I'm looking at my show notes here, is already, it's also already gifted away. It was a Christmas present for a friend. This was a pullover, the campsite pullover, originally by Alicia Plummer, eller Alicia, jag vet inte, I don't know. And I knitted it with Rowan Felted Tweed in the number 170, and it's called Seafarer, and it was so fast to knit because the yarn was wonderful. The needles were 4.5, and for the cuff and the neckband was 4.0, and yeah, I liked very much knitting it because the eyelet pattern was also very understandable for me, and now we have a cat which is making noise, and yeah, he's on the camera. Are you coming? Also, Oscar is now a little bit half a year old, and he's always very lively. Yeah. Where was I? Yeah. The Alicia Plummer pattern, the campsite pullover. I enjoyed it, and it was very understandable for me to knit. It is a raglan pattern, and with eyelets on the bottom of the pullover, on the front and back side, and sleeves are just plain stockinette stitch. And the neckline you knit afterwards, and you can decide for yourself if you will knit it wide open, so there you pick up one stitch for one stitch, or if you want to have it a little more closed, then you can do not pick up one stitch for one, you can pick up one stitch for two or so, or 3 out of 4. So she gives very good directions of how you do it, so that you have the neckline you want to have. So I was first a little skeptical about knitting the neck, so it was the first time I knitted the neckline afterwards, and it worked really well. I was very proud of that. I picked up the stitches in a good way, so that I didn't have I didn't have any holes, and I didn't have a thick thing there where you pick up stitches. So yeah, it was a very good pattern. It was, I think it really is something for beginners also, and I really like that she gives directions for the different sizes you have to knit, as you have a different eyelet pattern for the different sizes, because you have a different stitch count, and I really appreciate that she has she has charted the all the sizes, so it was very easy for me. I like charts. Yeah, and it was a Christmas present. It fitted very well, and I was very proud and very thankful that it was a very light gift, that it came from heart, and it was wonderful because my friend, yeah, she likes it very much. Next one, something I can show. I have knitted for my boyfriend. Yeah, that's one happy thing that happened. Mittens. And the wonderful thing is, although he has longer fingers than me, he has not such a wide hand. So we can have the same mittens, and there are those width beyond measure Ravenclaw mitts, and there are those mittens. And it was the first time I knitted colorwork mittens, and I'm very proud of it. He is a Ravenclaw, I'm a Gryffindor, so there's no cuddling in the common room. Yeah, but thank God we're not in Hogwarts. And yeah, there are them. You see, which was it? There. I am not so... There you see it. I don't know if you see it. I changed where I held the white, the light brown strand, and you see a little bit that there is the light brown little more visible back there, so down there, and there you see that it makes a difference. I knew that it makes a difference where you hold your strands, but yeah, I'm almost, I choose how I hold my strands when I look at the pattern who has a form and not just a star pattern or something. And so I chose to hold my strands that way, that I didn't have to change the way I weave in the float. So I prefer one of the methods, and if I have to weave in the other strand, I change how I'm having my strands of yarn on the finger, and not crazy cat. And I do not change the method how I weave in. So yeah, I'm a little bit... That's not how you have to do it, but I like to do it that way because I like the other method more. So there you see that it makes a difference. I don't care because I like it even if it's not, even if the light brown cat, no, if not the light brown cat, but if the light brown strand is not so visible. Yeah, the Ravenclaw mittens, the pattern is from Diana Walla, and those are the Ravenclaw mittens. Yeah. Next project for me is knitting some Gryffindor mittens for myself. Next finished object, also gifted away. Yeah, there are many objects you don't see this episode. I'm very sorry about it, and I apologize for it, and I really hope that I can record a little more of the next episode, so that you have more to see and not so much to listen. The next finished object is the Father Christmas socks, which are plain vanilla socks with the Ferner Mali socks Christmas edition from the 21st of December. Ferner has a Christmas edition with different Christmas not self-striping, but self-peddling yarns. And the Father Christmas socks were knitted in the 21st of December, and they went to my father for Christmas presents. And I used, as the first time I did an afterthought heel, and I was very glad that they fitted, because it is always a little difficult to knit socks for someone who can prove it on the way. And they were knitted in this Christmas edition yarn, and I have another Christmas edition yarn from the same Christmas edition, and I think it's the 22nd of December, and I got it from Sissy, and with that yarn I knitted Christmas socks for me, and they look this way. I finished them yesterday. So they are my first finished object in 2020. They have just normal yo-yo heel, and yeah, this is the self-pettering yarn. I think it's the 22nd. I was lucky and lost the banderole. There is the other one. They are both. They're knitted in size 39 and with 3.0 millimeters. And with the same yarn, I also knitted Christmas socks for my boyfriend. But they're not ready yet, so therefore those work in progress. And with this cue I can go to my works in progress because finished Christmas socks and not finished Christmas socks. There is the first one. And also a normal boomerang heel. And the very cool thing was I knitted first my sock, and then I noticed that I had to take away so much yarn that I can start with another one, as with the second sock, that I thought, maybe I can knit some for my boyfriend too. So therefore I started with his socks afterwards. So you have to imagine that the yarn ball is going this way, and then is this coming, then is the second sock of mine coming, and there will be the second sock of my boyfriend. And I have already started, but there's not much to see. Yeah, I have to say I started with the first of mine on the 26th or 25th? On the 25th of December, and when I was on the airport going back to Sweden, I knitted the second sock and finished. I finished the first sock, then knitted mostly all of the first sock of my boyfriend, and yesterday I finished the second sock of mine. Also, I knitted just socks. And yeah, as a work in progress, my boyfriend socks, Jim's socks, Jim's Christmas, and this is the rest of the wool. And if it's not the 22nd of December, I'm inserting here the right name of the ball. I have to call Sissy about it. And yeah, socks. The second work in progress is a knit along, which is hosted by Sissi Vilvolle. There you have her logo. Oops. And she's hosting a knit along with designs of Melanie Berg. Die Bergruft is the hashtag. And we are knitting together designs of Melanie Berg. It doesn't have to be out of this Colorwork Shawl book I got from my mom for Christmas present, but I chose to knit The Miller's Daughter, and this is the pattern. And the very cool thing about the book is if you are a beginner in English knitting and your mother tongue is German, you have always on the one side German instructions and on the other side the English instructions. So if you are a beginner, you can start with reading the English instructions and then move to the German instructions if you're not sure what you're doing. And I think that's a very cool thing to do. I'm knitting with a Road to China lace and Ferner lace, and yeah, this is not my usual decision for colors, but I really like the combination. The purple one is Tanzanite and the yellow one is Star Lemon, and it's not quite good to see, but here is a row knitted in the Ferner lace. I'll give you the colors. You have from down upwards. The purple one is, the light is very not good. The purple one is Tanzanite. Here have we Star Lemon, and here have we a purple one with green, and this is the Ferner lace, hand-dyed lace. Those two are cashmere, camel, baby alpaca and silk. Yeah, very luxury. And the Ferner is, wait, where is it? The Ferner is superwash wool. Yep. Ferner lace, hand-dyed superwash wool in the colorway D602. Yeah, I'm not so sure if you will see it very well in the pattern, but I will have it in my shawl, because I won't have another contrast color. And my needles are a wonderful plaything for my cat. Here do you have one of the wonderful Here do you have the wonderful progress keeper made for of a friend of mine, which I got as a Christmas present. She has such a talent for such small things. I never could do something like that. And I thank her very, very much for it, because I love her progress keepers. So this was the second work in progress. Now we're coming to, also I needed a little bit of it. It's the Kune shawl from Olga Chesinitz in a wonderful Manos del Uruguay yarn. We start with the yarn. It's the Manos del Uruguay Alegria in the colorway Saino, and it is this pattern. Oops. Nej, Oskar. It is this pattern. And I needed a few rows in Austria. No. And there are them. I needed not so much because I have to count every time I'm knitting it. The pattern is not so difficult if you have to understand it, but I put it away and then I have to work again in understanding it, and then I take it again and I have work again to understanding it, and yeah, but it is really cool and really fun to knit. Some call it potato chip knitting because you can knit just one of these rows or one of these tacks, and then you can put it away again if you want to. And yeah, I'm going to knit a few more rows about it, but yeah, I have to count every time, so it's no knitting when I watch a film or when I want to talk to someone, so it's no social knitting for me, although it's just counting to 8, to 6 or to 12, but yeah, so that's why I don't have so much progress to show about it, but I have knitted on it. Almost last one is another pair of Songbird Mittens. It's the same yarn. I knitted the width beyond measure mittens with, and there I missed to show you the yarn, so I can show you the yarn now. It's a dark blue one and a light brown one or grey one from Slow Wool from Lana Grossa. This is the tag. And it is 100% Lana Ecologica, 85% wool, merino wool, and 15% linen. And one of the colors, the blue one is the colorway 13 and the grey one is the colorway 5. And I'm knitting the Songbird Mittens from Erika Heuse with it, and they're looking this way. Just a moment. This way. They're called the Songbird Mittens, and they also should be a gift for a friend who's always freezing. And yeah, so I'm not so quick with them because the chart is, it's charted, and that's wonderful, and but I noticed that I'm not so much thinking capacity now, so therefore they're a little bit resting. But yeah, because it is very long cold in Sweden, I think I will finish them in time so that she can have them. And now the last work in progress I have are my tutorial socks, because I did a Swedish tutorial for socks, and you can find it on this YouTube channel, but it is in Swedish, so for those who are not speaking Swedish, it's just just a video instruction without the language you need it. They are knitted also out of Ferner hand-dyed yarn. Plain vanilla socks with a 2x2 rib and yo-yo heel, and they're knitted with 2.25 millimeters. And the colorway of the yarn is lost. Yeah, I'll insert it. I lost the tag again. Thank God there is Ravelry, so I can look it up and insert it for you. Wait a minute. No, my show notes also don't have the colorway. Not good. Yeah, this was the update of all my projects, the finished objects, the works in progress. And yeah, I hope it was a good update, and I hope it was not so boring for you, although you haven't had all the projects live for you. I'm going to make my Make 9 for 2020 again with wool. I noticed that last year, the Make 9 of 2019, I finished, or at least casted on, 7 out of 9 projects with the yarn I wanted to knit. And yeah, then also I noticed that I finished many pullovers in this year, as the last year in 2019, and I'm very proud of it, because there was 2 I gifted away, and then I knitted also 2 for myself and a cardigan for myself, so yay! I was a very good pullover knitter last year. And the next project I'm going to knit is a pullover for my sister. I'm going to get the yarn for this today, so therefore I can't show you that. And yeah, so I wish you a wonderful day, and that you have a wonderful year 2020, and that you are going to have all the projects that you want to cast on and that you want to finish, and that you have much fun knitting for yourself. Yeah, so thank you for watching. Bye bye.
I'll be gone for now, but you can still hear the sound of my voice.